Hey guys, the Craft-nanigans about to get shenanigier. I apologize for any hot mess, worse than usual, going on in this video because I've got some new equipment. I got a mic, I got a laptop, I got new video editor. Yep, so bear with me, here we go. So I got this little mini tray from the Goodwill bins. So it was probably only like $1 because it's $1 a pound. But the original tag on it said it was from the Hobby Lobby. Well, you can see one screw is out down there at the bottom. So I got to replace it, but I only had a bigger size screw. So I'm going to go ahead and replace both screws. You notice it was kind of wiggly wobbly, and look at the gunk on that thing, but it was at the Goodwill bin. So what you expect? So I cleaned this baby off. I put those two nice new screws in there. So it tightened her up on the bottom. I also gave her a little bit of a sanding on the edges, and I'm going to give her a fresh coat of antique wax. Yes, sirs and ma'ams. So there she is. And right here, I'm kind of showing you the difference between the top and the bottom. I've done the top with the antique wax, but not the bottom. So you can see it really kind of brightened it up, darkened it up. I don't know how you want to say that, but I got the bottom, got the sides, the whole shebangy mangy. So this cute little tier tray is now ready to go. Now time for the decor. I said gingy, and we gonna get our gingy on. Here's where all the editing hot mess comes in, because you know how I am. I'm trying to not show you everything because I know you know how to do quite a bit of stuff, but you know. So anyway, that was $1. This cute little house at the Dollar General. Whoop whoop. So I just pulled her apart. It did have a light in it. Yeah, check your lights before you buy it. Okay, so I just pulled it apart and I painted it with, I'm using nutmeg brown through this whole entire thing. And I added just a little bit of water to the nutmeg brown by Apple Barrel. But that's all the brown I use is the nutmeg brown. Now you can see what I'm doing here. After I painted both sides, the paint is dry. I stuck it on a piece of wax paper. I thought I saw Jackie, Crafting in Mimi's World, do this on one thing. And if you want to watch the Gingy Queen, you go check out Mimi. That's all I got to say. All right. All right. So anyway, I thought I saw her use wax paper to do this, but maybe it wasn't wax paper. Or maybe I'm just a goofball, but maybe it was both. Okay, so after I glued this on, but I glued it with hot glue. I think that was the problem. It's wax paper. The hot glue is not going to stick to the wax paper because that's just kind of like silicone, right? I mean, this is where my mind went because this would not stick. So maybe use a glue stick instead. That's why you saw that rolling around. But anyway, I then took my little knife there and I cut around the edges to make it all nice and pretty. This is because it does have the light in it, so it's going to make it glow brighter. So thank you, Jackie, for this great idea. But now we got a problem. So I've put it all back together, hot glued that light back in and everything. It don't work. It don't work. Yeah, I tried, yeah. So here's where, yep, the hot mess just derailed. So my light don't work, but thanks to my BFF Joanna, she sent me this great little life. Yeah, she has sent me a life, I'll tell you that. She's amazing. She sent me this cute little light with some little gems in it in a little care package, a little love package. So we're going to use this and I'm going to see if it fits. And look at there. Despite the fiasco and the carnage, it almost fits. I'm just going to take a pair of snips here and I'm just going to cut a little bit of that wood out. I'm sure there was an easier way to do that, but look where you're at, people. Okay, so we're going to put this light in. It just twists on and off to get it to come on. And the light changes colors. Ooh, we go from the red to the blue to the green to the yellow. Oh, and look, all you got to do is just twist the back of it. Here it's on. Twist it. Boop, it's off. So, ta-da! I didn't hot glue it or nothing. I didn't want don't want it to be permanent. I could use that light for something else. Now we're going to get yo puff paint, fabric paint here from the Dollar Trees. And I'm just adding this kind of to the top and to the roof, and I do add some to the bottom. I don't take you through all this mess, but I saw Kristen K, off of Kristen K, do this little trick too. After she put the puff paint on, she then kind of tapped it, boop, 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 like that, and then it kind of made it run down a little bit. So, I've been loving doing that. But I did make a little bit of a mess and had to go in with a little paintbrush and get it off my wax paper there. So anyway, the purpose of the wax paper behind it is to just kind of make it so it kind of spreads the light out a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, we had to yeet the boost man. Okay, So we all know about these spoons from Hobby Lobby. Now, this little pack, they're like crayons, right? And they're little gingerbread man. I got them at our, living here in Texas, we love our HEB grocery store, the Hebe. Yes, woo, the HEB got some great stuff. Okay, that's our like grocery store around here in Texas. So what I'm gonna do is, I found this was like $2 or $3 for all of these, and I thought surely I could use these little gingerbread men. So the little crayon part literally just pulls out. I then took my snip there and popped off that little bottom part. Now, yes, it leaves a hole in the top of his head and a hole in the bottom. But you know what? We're going to fix that. We're not going to see the hole in the bottom because we're going to shove them and stuff. And we won't see the hole in the top because we're going to put bows on them. I mostly make little girl gingies here because, it's me and my girls and, that's that. Yeah, we don't need no boy gingerbread mans around here. Anyway, I'm just filling my little spoons there. I wish I would have maybe antique wax these. I didn't want to do them brown because since the gingy was going to be brown, and in the other one I'll put brown puffy paint. But anyway, they just look, I kind of just should have lightly antique waxed them so they're not just the raw wood, but they're still cute. So we added some little bows. I'll put those little bows on everything. And in one of them, I put the brown puff paint and the other one white. And boy, I got sprinkles at the wham wham. Okay, so this came from the Dollar Tree a long time ago. This is a makeup sponge. And it was in this coffee looking cup. And I turned this little coffee cup, for your makeup sponge to keep it safe and sanitized. We're going to turn it into a cup. And I'll guarantee you that sponge gets used to paint with. Okay. Yep. Sure did. This is probably about 2 years ago I found those though. Anyway, I want to stick a candy cane up in the top of that. Yep, got lots of help here. Gracie and the moose coming in. All right. And I want to turn that little cup. Obviously, I'd already put latte on it because I used it last year, but we're going to spoof it up a bit. I'm going to take half of a little foam ball. It's not the littlest ones, but it's kind of like a smaller medium one. And I cut it in half with my pool noodle knife there, which works pretty good for this foam. And this kid, I don't know what to do with him. He's literally stuck his nose on that and did not care. Lucky him. Anyway, so I hot glued that half a foam ball on the top of my lid there. And now we're going to take our caulking and I'm going to just make a big mess and just squirt. I didn't realize, I thought this tube was full and it's not even half full. So I'm having to be kind of stingy with my caulking here. And I'm just taking my knife because, I'm no cake decorator or anything, but I'm kind of just smearing it all the way around because, like I said, we got to, be careful with it because I don't have that much. And I was not going to the store. And guys, it took me probably all week long to make like these little tier tray. I think I make like 5 or 6, but it took me all week to do these little 5 or 6 because it was disaster after disaster. Okay. So then I got those cute little gingers you see that I just stuck on top there, the little girl. And there was also little boys. I got a lot of these ornaments at our HEB grocery store here in Texas. Oh, I like loaded up. Anyway, you'll see me constantly using these sprinkles. This is that confetti stuff. The red and the green and the purple, and there's blue at the top and a lighter green and a darker blue. All that confetti stuff, that's that stuff from the Dollar Tree. Now, the other stuff in the top corner are the sprinkles with the little gingerbreads and candy canes and Santas. Guys, at the Target dollar spot, like they had these cute little tiny bottles and it was full of those sprinkles. So I just and they were $1 a piece. I'm sure that was the expensive way to do it, but hey, now I got cute little bottles with corks that I could use. And then I got all the sprinkles out of them. All right, so that was done. Okay, where are we at? All right, this little cutting board came from Hobby Lobby during the fall season. And of course, I waited till it was over, so really got it cheap. We're going to use some crimson here, and I did pop all the little pieces off, sanded it down, painted it with the crimson. You also notice there, I had a little rolling pin from the Hobby Lobby. We painted the handles in crimson and the rolling part in the white. Here's those little cups from the fall from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to glue 3 of them together to just kind of make it thicker. I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of people do this. I mean, if you don't want it thick, you could just use 1. If you wanted it thicker, you could use more than 3. But I use that amazing wood glue, super glue from the Dollar Tree. I just glued those together. I made sure I wiped off all the extra glue. We're going to paint the bottom of the cup red and the top white, and then we'll put more caulking on the top for some whipped cream. Yep, this is all over the place. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I was all over the place, literally. Okay, so there's that just twine. I've had this in my stash for, ever in a century. And I'm just wrapping that down there because I can't paint neatly. So the white got onto the red. I just wrapped that around a couple times to cover that up. And then little bows. I just made little finger bows to go on the ends. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other end there. I'm going to do it to the little cutting board on the handle. I'm going to put this little cozy back on. But since it was fall colored with orange, I just took my red Posca marker and colored over the words, letters in red. And we're going to put those little cups there. There's the gingy from HEB, but that little coffee cup, those were little sticker packs from Dollar Tree. And I put the little beads back on, but I did paint the beads. I got lots of red and white beads. They were just the natural color, but I took a whole bunch. I painted some brown, I painted some white, I painted some red. But y'all didn't need to see all that. Okay. So once I get those guys, and I just used hot glue for a lot of this, but your best bet, especially with the pieces of little wood or the MDF stuff, use the super glue, wood glue stuff, and it'll stick a lot better. But like I said, I was in a hurry. So here we go again with the white puff paint. I put it on, tap it down. I even put a little bit on the little coffee cup there too, but you can't really see it right now. Or maybe you can. I can't. And I'm looking right at it. Anyway, now we're going to decorate our rolling pin. I'm going to use my brown puffy paint for this. And all these puffy paints, these other ones, the colored ones come from, I bought a big pack at Walmart. But the white one came from Dollar Tree. Okay, so we're going to make us a blob of oozy chocolate goodness here, but don't eat this one. And in this blob of chocolate ooey goodness, you see I got a little peppermint by my thumb down there? Those actually came off at some of the bottle brush trees at Dollar Tree have little peppermints on the bottom to hold them up. The pink ones and the red bottle brush trees, those they just pop off, guys. So I can always put the trees into something else and shove it down into something like styrofoam or whatever. But I wanted the peppermints, so and I waited too late to order some off of Amazon because we just got to go. So letting that dry, and guys, this was half my problem is I kept sticking my hands in all the wet puff paint and stuff was sliding off because I put too much. And yeah, anyway. So anyway, here we go back with our caulking on the top of our little cup here that we made. The three pieces dried together pretty quick, no time at all. I worked on the little cutting board and the rolling pin, and by the time I was done, those three pieces of the cups glued together, they were ready. So I got that painted. We put more sprinkles on, and I put a little candy cane in the top and another one of those little penciled crayon gingies, and we're going to take a little sticker from the sticker pack here from Dollar Tree, and I just put on the mocha. It's not the best, but I didn't feel like busting out my Cricut. Now, I didn't take you through this whole fiasco because I did make that tassel, and then I did paint all those beads, and then I did put them on. And now, when that dries, because this is not dry yet, so of course, I'm trying to keep it away from Moose and trying to entertain him and here, play with this instead. I did make all that. So there's that twine, and then I used the red and white twine and made me a tassel, attached the beads to it, and when the cup dries later, I'll attach the cup to the other end. You'll see that here in a bit. Now, we're making tier tray, remember? So I'm making a little banner here. Now, those three little black signs, those, of course, came from Dollar Tree. I had some red and white buffalo check vinyl that I got at Dollar Tree a long time ago when they were still selling it. And I cut out Candy Cane Lane, Ginger Bee Boulevard, and Mocha Latte Avenue. I used it for a project last year, but I pulled them all off, and we're going to take two of those little poofy gingies there that I got from my HEB grocery store, and I'm just gluing it all back on to a piece of jute, and just to make a little banner. And once I got those kind of glued on, I took some ribbon and just put it kind of over that jute twine. So just hopefully give it a sturdier grip and they don't fall off. Hopefully, we'll see. Now, these little wooden hearts, those were on little sticks that come from the Dollar Tree at Valentine's Day. They were the gold ones. I painted them brown. And I just needed something in the middle of those bows. And then I don't show you guys this, but later you will see that on top of the hearts, I took the white puff paint, put it on top, kind of tapped those so it looks like there's white puff paint icing drizzling off of that. Okay, sorry about the bright light because my table's in front of the window. Never had this problem before. Okay, I got better equipment now. Yike. Okay, so here is a piece of cardstock I had. I just took the peppermints and glued it to the little easel there. I should have antique wax the easel, but did not, so I just had to use my Tim Holtz ink on the little pad and kind of rubbed it because I already had my paper on there. Because, yeah, I do things backwards. And then that little cup in the corner came off the little cutting board, remember? Can't throw anything away. So I put that up in the corner with a little spackle sprinkles and a bow. Whew. I'm sorry, guys. I'm going fast here. I just trying to keep you guys going. I didn't. Okay, so this little bottle was full of sprinkles that I got at like Walmart last year or something. Well, finally got them all used up in some cupcakes. And I just mixed some white paint with some Mod Podge. That way it would stick to that plastic real good. Just kind of pounced that on with a pouncer and then found some stickers to stick on it once it dried. Merry and happy. And I will be putting some Christmas sprinkles in there by our little coffee bar thing. And then I took the top of it since it had that cute little cup and I put some more puff paint on that, tapped that, made that drizzle as well. Okie doke. Now we know we can buy these packs at Hobby Lobby. Everything's 50% off right now. Whoop. Hopefully we'll be getting 60% pretty soon. Okay, this yarn, hot mess. Y'all, I'm not even gonna lie. This was from when I made the snowman a while back, I think. Remember my snowman with the big old head and the big cone and yeah, head fell off and all that? Yeah. You think I would learn not to play with styrofoam and yarn anymore, but nah. Okay, now I know most people start at the bottom, but you know me. I'm going to be different. I'm starting at the top because I kind of loop it up and over the top and then I start twisting it around and that makes sure the tip is covered. And then I just work my way down. See, so making sure that's all pressed down real good. And then we'll just wind our way down. And when we get to the bottom, Moose will stick his tail of approval in there. And I'll just run the hot glue all along the bottom edge of this and finish her up. And we'll have a little white tree here. Now I'll do red on the other one, but I don't show you that, which is a shame. I probably should have showed you that one because that one was a really hot mess. I couldn't keep the yarn tight and it kept loosening up. I had to do it over. It loosened up. I had to do it over. And then pretty soon the tip popped off. So you'll notice here in a little bit that the red tree is shorter than the white tree. That's because the tip of the cone popped off because I got too rough with it. See, those peppermints just come off the bottom of those bottle brush trees. So I just took two of those and I'm just glued them up there at the top. And I was thinking of putting some more embellishments or something on this, but I was like, no, I'm just going to leave them just like this. But I do add some more of those little gingies up there at the top. Now, the hole in his head really shows on top of these trees. So we did have to fix this. Unlike when we added them to the spoons, didn't worry too much. So what I do is I have these little bitty tiny pom-poms and I stick the pom-pom right in the top of his head. And then we're going to make a little twine bow and glue that on top of the pom-pom. Ba-bam. You never know. He's got a hole in his head. Like me. Ooh, the brains are oozing out from somewhere. Okay. So, hey, there's your little trick. I'm sure you know that trick. Yeah. I just learned that, maybe a year ago. So, anyway. So, I do get a gingy on both of those, a little bow on both of those. And aren't they so cute? But yeah, I don't know if you could tell if I hold them up together, that the red one is shorter than the white one because, yeah, kind of like, remember if you watch my snowman where his head popped off and it took the whole entire top off. Why I'm sitting here showing you make this bow. I guess I had to prove to y'all I was making these bows. This was a lot. All that red and white twine right there, that came out of all these ornaments that I've bought. Like literally a basket full of gingies at my grocery store at HEB. And they all came with jute twine. Well, I'm using every bit of that. I'm just taking, that's why they're all in little pieces. I just grab one, I make the two loops, flip it, boom, got a bow. See how the red one was shorter than the white one? But hey, we don't like them the same, right? We like it different. Now we're going to take our thing here and we're going to add it. It is dry. This is the next day. This was a lot of the problem. This puff paint and caulk takes forever to dry and I put on so much and yeah, anyway. I'm going to tie that in a double knot That's why we kept the hole in the cream. I forgot to mention that earlier. I kept poking the toothpick through the hole at the top, and this is why, because I wanted to string this jute through it. Now we're gonna kind of put some glue on the end here and kind of twist it to kind of make a point. And I'm putting it up through the beads right above it. And you can use like the Cricut weeder; those are amazing. And I just pushed it through the bead and pulled it up, and I did it on the both bottom two beads there, or the ones right on top of the cup, because that just kind of gives it a little bit sturdier of a hold. I'm sure you guys have seen this done too, but yeah. So I did the same thing at the other end when I made the tassel. After I made the tassel and got the tassel attached, I put the what was left up in the two beads on top of it, just to make it sturdier, make it hold a little bit more. If something goes crazy or you hear a swoosh, it's the moose man walking by. Oh, look, he's stepping on things, and now my computer's going wonky. Okay. All right. I think we're okay, guys. Are you still there? Anyway, so, and what I'm doing right now, I have no idea. What did you do, Moose? What did you do to my computer? Okay, I guess nothing. So there we go. What I just did, I don't know. Oh, I guess I maybe showed you, added a bow to his head too. Put a little pom-pom in the top of his head and put a bow on it. Here you go, guys. Phew, mama, right? Okay, so here's my little mini tray. I just live in a little apartment, so I don't have much kitchen space. So here it is. There's the little garland. See the puff paint on top of the little gingy hearts? Ooh, and that reminds me of those Christmas trees, right? The little Debbie Christmas trees. That was one of those ornaments from HEB as well. I just put a bow on that sucker. Added some lights here that I got at Dollar Tree a couple years ago. But there's our little cup of sprinkles. I got it right next to my Keurig with my little frother and some coffee. I did add a sticker to the rolling pin. So chilly. And that all came out real cute. And there's our little trees. There's our latte with our little gingerbread girl. Oh, I love the way the puff paint looks on those little hearts. Now, see that? Oh, oh, yeah, I got the big trees too, baby. And single all the way. Yes, absolutely. We love it. We love it. If you guys loved it, comment, like, share with your friends. It's always a good mess, hot time around here, and you know it. Yes. Guys, I'm like 9 away from that 1,200. Buy the Moose a coffee if you wish to do so. I love y'all so much, and I hope to see you next week. I love y'all.